I'm stepping down.
Companies eventually outgrow the leadership of their founders, and it looks like my time is now. Effective July 1st, 2023, after 10
That's really fast.
wild and very eventful
Really
years,
soon.
I will be stepping down as CEO of Linus Media Group, Creator Warehouse, and Floatplane Media. I'm sure you have a lot of questions, and I'm going to try to answer them all here.
Okay.
Like, why now? What's going to happen to the channels in the lab? And if not you, who's going to be
Everything is being deleted. I already know what's going to happen. Everything's getting deleted. It's gone, guys. It's over. We had a good run. Everybody has to send their screwdrivers back so they can pay the last month's rent on the building. And that's basically it. Yep, it's done.
around to tell us
That's all,
about our
folks.
sponsor.
The Ridge. Father's Day is coming up. Luckily, Ridge is having one of their biggest sales
I
of the
actually
year.
picked up
Give
one
the
of these
dads in your
before.
life a unique and functional Ridge wallet or key case so they can do dad things like brag about their wallet and keys. Check the Ridge out at the link below and make dad proud.
The truth is
I have had the same wallet since 2003.
I was never really cut out to be a CEO. I remember putting it on my business cards in the early days when we had only 4 employees, thinking, this feels ridiculous, and I've never really outgrown that. I'm a lot of things. I'm a bottomless pit of creative energy,
That's
an
nice.
excellent motivator and speaker.
That's nice.
I'm wicked smart, charming, really funny.
Okay, this
But
is for Tinder?
in addition to those strengths, both real and imagined, I have a lot of weaknesses, and chief among them is that I've just never really had the attention to detail or the temperament that it takes to run an organization this large. I touched on some of this during my infamous 10 million subscriber stream, but the truth is...
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, I can see that. I mean, like, for me, it's like every person, like for OTK, right? Like, I don't make a lot of decisions. I just know who can make good decisions, you know? Because, like, I'm always focused, like, for me, like, I look at, I'm going to do what I'm best at, and what I'm best at is being on camera, doing stuff, popping off, and making my videos, right? So I do my best, and then everybody else does their best, and that's the smart thing to do. Play to your strengths.
While I did manage to wrap that up with a positive message about finding motivation to move forward,
Yeah.
none of those feelings I talked about ever went away. I wasn't built for this, and I'm tired. Like, really can't do this anymore, tired. And if I try to drag myself through another 10 years of business administration, I know I'm going to destroy myself and probably end up killing the company and the community that I love so much in the process. I'm at my best.
I can
when
understand
I'm
that.
pitching new content or product ideas, or when I'm problem-solving ways to wipe garbage sites like User Benchmark out once and for all. And
Is that a
I
bad
have some good
website? I don't
news.
even know.
None of that stuff is going to be going away. My new role is going to be Chief Vision Officer, which is a stupid, like, BS-sounding made-up.
I just made that one up. Yeah, so we made this new one up for me. No, I like this. This is actually real CVO. I like that. Yeah, it's smart. I think that's actually a really good idea, right? And it's just it's smarter for him to let somebody else do a lot of the, you know, business specifics, where he can focus more on the creative specifics and like the direction of the company in that way. Like, this is a smart thing for him to do.
But I think it really is the best one. We thought about creative officer, but that didn't really encompass what I'm going to be responsible for, because my gut and principles are what got
Maintains
us to where we
ownership.
are
Oh, he
today.
probably
So
will.
I'm still going to be charting the path that I think makes sense. We don't want to lose our moral compass. But when it comes to the details of how to best utilize our resources to get there, I need some help. And I'm sure you have a lot of questions right now, like who our second sponsor is. Just kidding. We're going to get to that later. First, I want to talk about what isn't... Did I really write that? Sorry. First, I want to
He
talk
scripts his videos? That's crazy. I haven't scripted a video since like 2018. Oh my God.
about what isn't going to change. And the biggest one is the rest of our leadership team. Yvonne and I spent the last 6 months working with them on my replacement, which included having him work for us on a contract basis to ensure that they feel he is A,
That's smart.
a competent manager, and B, the kind of person who can comfortably integrate into our team.
It's so hard to find people that make good decisions and aren't assholes. Like you think that it's easy, and then you put them in a situation that's stressful, and you find out that, man, this is just not working as well as I thought it would. You know, like that's it.
And be continuing to work alongside him to ensure that this transition goes as smoothly as possible.
Think you do, but you
The
don't.
next thing that isn't going to change is me. I am not going away. You can expect to see me on camera just as much as you used to. I mean, ideally, maybe more. Since if all goes according to plan, I'm going to be left to do what I do best, which is engage with our community, that's you, and create. Speaking of which, I'm going to be doing a Q&A session about this with the community in the next week or so. Make sure you're signed up at floatplane.com/LTT so you don't miss it.
Oh, that's
also
cool.
not changing, our ownership structure. Yvonne and I are still the sole shareholders and directors of the company. So there hasn't been some kind of corporate buyout that's going to force us to sell our souls to cover their purchase investment. We did have a substantial offer recently to sell out, and I might as well speak plainly.
Yeah. This is like, I remember there was an article or something written about how Linus he turned down a $100 million offer. I'm going to be real. I think that, why? Because it was nothing. No, it's not crazy. Like, I don't think that people understand how much money media companies make and how much money media companies are worth. If I was going to value the Linus Tech Tips brand, I would be thinking somewhere between minimum $400,000 to $600,000. It could even be more than that. They got lowballed so hard. Of course he turned it down. Sorry, million. I said, bro, God, y'all fucking know what I'm trying to say, right? I meant million. Yeah, his offer says 100. I know, that's what I meant. Yeah, $400 to $600 million. I fucked up. It is what it is. But yeah, overvaluation of Media Classic. Well, is it really an overvaluation if this overvaluation's been going on for like 100 years? Like, maybe it's just you have a different viewpoint on it. But the truth is that, I mean, media companies like this, especially with like such a great reputation that they have, and but this is, it was that little thing was just getting to me. It's just the reputation that they have, and like the quality of work they do, the amount of views they get, etc. Like, Linus Tech Tips is one of the biggest YouTube channels on the entire platform, and YouTube's one of the biggest platforms on the entire internet. So Linus Tech Tips, I wouldn't be surprised if Linus Tech Tips got more people watching and more people paying attention to it worldwide than CNN does. So you'd say CNN is probably $1 billion company, right? But Linus Tech Tips isn't? You think about it like that. Yeah, he's got other, yeah, and again, it's a network, right? Because you open this shit up, take a look at this, right? So let's go channels. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have that many fingers. 6, or actually that would be 7. Like, you got 7 channels. Like, collectively, this is 20 million subscribers, right? And each of these views, like each of these videos, is 1 million fucking views on every video. So like, yeah, plus other languages, etc. I thought it was 70 added more than 8 channels. He might have more than 8 channels, and that might be just however many it allows him to have. So yeah, I mean, it's just, it's not even a question that he was worth, like, not him individually, maybe. I don't know what his percentage is, or I have no idea, it doesn't matter. But like, the company and the Linus Tech Tips brand, I think, is worth like multiples more than $100 million. Like multiples.
The offer was $100 million, 60% cash, 40% shares in the acquiring company. Basically, it was enough to live in a beachfront hotel for the rest of our lives, for our kids to do that, and for our kids' kids to do the same. We decided not to take it.
That sounds
boring. There were a few
boring.
reasons for that. First is that, honestly speaking, it wouldn't really change our lifestyle much. I mean, what are we going to do? Buy an even bigger house?
Yeah.
An even faster car? I mean, that's
You're
never
gonna
really
get
been us
arrested.
anyway. Second is because we love this company and the people in it. And I just don't think our mission's complete yet. I'm not sure that it will ever be. My point is just that our attitude towards money, so make lots of it and keep reinvesting and building this thing to do even better, it's not going to change, and you're not going to see the kind of short-term thinking that comes from investor pressure. Our long-term thinking is just going to come from this guy instead. On that note, then, let's talk about what does change. And this is actually mostly for the benefit of my team who's watching this. But
yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And he also owns Floatplane, a video streaming platform only for subscribers that makes a big plus. Yeah, you're just doing the same thing you'd be doing anyway. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to go and, like, there's never going to be a point where I'm going to be worried a lot about money. Like, obviously, there are times that I have, like, if I have to pay my taxes, it's like, fuck, right? Because that's a percentage. But the truth is that that's life, right? I mean, that's just the way it goes. And, I've never really wanted a lot of expensive shit. So whenever I don't have it, it doesn't really matter a lot to me, Like, I don't give a fuck. So, yeah, I mean, similar to Mr. Beast turning down $1 billion, yet everyone called him crazy. But once you break down his reach, all the platforms, he's worth more than $1 billion. Exactly. Like, who was that dude that sat down and broke down the Mr. Beast, the brand value? Like, I forgot who it was, but I thought it was really smart. I watched that video. And, yeah, it was just, I think, obviously, like, when a lot of people have, like, especially whenever you're not part of the guy in a podcast. Yeah, there's a guy on this one podcast that did it. Whenever you're not in the business, right, and you don't do this kind of stuff, it's like, it's hard to really judge, like, how much something is worth unless you have a lot of experience with it. So, I mean, like 60% equity, like let's assume he's got 10 to 20% of that. So that's 60 million, 10% of that is 6 million, right? So $6 to $12 million he would get out of that. That's a lot of money, but how's that really going to change anything? What would you do without Versace underwear? Yeah, exactly. Ultimately, the brand's only as much as the people think it's worth. It's not gold or fiat. It'd be extremely volatile. Yeah, it definitely can. And I think that that's why usually people that take buyouts like that, there's like a 4-year thing where they have to continue running it and they just get the money for it. So like they can't just immediately, just like fucking loot and scoot.
You guys might as well be in on it. The biggest change is in reporting. No one will report directly into me anymore. If there's an issue with salary transparency, or the snacks in the lunchroom, or the warranty on the backpack, or whatever, I promise you, I give you my personal guarantee, trust me, bro, whatever it is, there is somebody else who's in charge of that, and that is by design. Yvonne and I have laid out a clear set of guidelines for how we want this company handled, with integrity and compassion, people first.
That's smart because, like, it's just, I remember there was drama. I remember there was some sort of drama about like employee salaries with Linus. I remember this was like 2 or 3 months ago. I didn't really read into it or look into it or anything like that, but I think it's definitely, it's like whenever you're a public figure that's running a company that's very public, that kind of stuff can be like really damaging. Wasn't it unions? I have no idea what the specifics are. I'm just saying that, like, and the problem is that oftentimes people can misrepresent things, and whenever they do misrepresent something like that, it can be, it doesn't even really matter who's right, because people want the person who's in charge to be wrong.
We want to make strong investments in building something that's going to continue to offer growth opportunities to everyone who's part of our team. Beyond that, though, the buck stops with the new CEO. I'm not going to be stepping in to undermine him. And this is a big shift that's going to mean we're all going to need to break some really old habits. With that out of the way, then,
yeah,
who the hell is this guy, right? The keen-eyed among you might have noticed that the picture I showed you is actually from the roast a few years back. So
is this the guy?
This isn't your first exposure to Mr. Taran Tong. He was my boss when I worked at NCIX, which makes him kind of uniquely qualified for this position because managing me is a challenging task. I am everywhere.
Even yeah, the rest of that dude's hair is going to be gray in like 2 years. Guaranteed.
Most skilled of administrators have struggled with
real.
it. And he's one of the only people to ever successfully do that and teach me. He, and I mean, if I'm being honest, really, one of our other colleagues, begrudging shout out to Jack.
How much did you sell for? I don't think he really sold it. I think that really it's just that effectively Linus is still the owner. He still owns the company. He still ultimately can make decisions as the owner, as the ownership of the company. However, he's effectively hiring somebody to run all of the day-to-day operations because he wants to focus more on making content and deciding the direction of the company. Yeah, he's not selling. He just hired a new CEO. Like, this is actually like, it's like you're basically hiring a. It's like in Game of Thrones. It's like the Hand of the King. You know, that's probably the best example I could use. Like Darth Vader. Yeah, it's like yeah, he can be Sidious, and you've got to hire Darth Vader.
The two of them taught me most of what I know about business, both what to do and what not to do. Shout out, Jack. In the years since his departure from NCIX, Taryn has done stints at Corsair and Dell, both of which have been successful enough that they've thwarted all of my previous attempts to hire him. Seriously, since pretty much day one, I've been looking for an excuse for us to work together again, and every single time I would talk to him, he was worth so much more than the last time that I'd go, damn it, I guess.
Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, somebody brought this up in chat, totally right. Elon's doing this now with Twitter. Reddit did this about 10 years ago with this woman, Ellen Pao. And they made her make a lot of bad decisions, and then after they made all the bad decisions, they blamed it all on her, and then they fired her. So it's like, just, you know, like, it is what it is, right? I got scapegoat. Yeah, I remember, like, a lot of things that she said I didn't like. Like, there were a lot of things that she did I didn't like. But, like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to go and blame her whenever the same guys are on the board of directors. Like, the CEO does what the board of directors tell them to. So, it's like, I can get mad, like, oh, yeah, I don't like her personal opinion on something. But, like, really, if there's, like, a site-wide change, this is probably going through them and not her.
Not really ready for this yet, but now that the deal is inked, I'm really excited. I'm excited to work with my friend again. I'm excited to have a steady hand that I can trust on the tiller of this ship. A second steady hand. I haven't forgotten about Yvonne, who's the only reason I've lasted this long at all. And I'm also excited about the mentorship that he can provide to me again, and also to the rest of our team. We are headed into a really exciting new chapter, guys. Better videos, better products, new investments that are going to make us just the primo source of tech information on the web. I'm sure of it. Now, I don't want to say too much more about him for now. Once he's onboarded, I'm sure he's going to want to prepare a little thing to talk to you guys about. You know, it'd be kind of fun. Should I interview him? Is that as funny as I think it is? You know, it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. In the meantime, I can assure you that he is zero bullshit. He's a super hardworking guy with great attention to detail, and not only...
Well, I mean, if Intel and AMD and these other places are trying to hire this dude, I mean, like, obviously, I mean, I think that really bringing in somebody with, like, more industry knowledge and industry expertise, because, like, obviously, like, Linus and probably a lot of the people that are, like, in, like, the leadership are probably, like, I can't really speak to this, but I would assume a lot of them probably don't have as much, like, industry insider information, right? And not insider information as in, like, you know, Martha Stewart, insider trading, Enron, but I mean just insider knowledge and how things work inside of the industry of tech and business in tech.
Experience in the computer industry. He actually has a background in media as well. He formerly wrote at NeoSeeker, if you want to go dig up some of his old articles for fun. Sorry, Taryn. Sorry for bringing that up, and sorry for turning your introduction here into this segue to our sponsor. Micro Center. This summer marks the opening of their first store in 8 years in Indianapolis with...
Well, I don't want to hear about this unless it's in Texas. Where's the fucking Austin one? Closest Micro Center we have is in fucking Dallas. Fucking Houston. They shut down Fry's and now we don't have anything. Fuck.
2 more stores set to open by 2025. And if you visit the Indianapolis store, you can get a free 128 gig flash drive just for stopping by. If you want to shop online, you can still take advantage of the $25 discount that they have on all processors for all new customers. During May, Micro Center is featuring desktop deals all month long with pre-built desktops available for purchase. And if you prefer to build your own PC, Micro Center has you covered with a wide range of PC parts and knowledgeable associates to help you with your build. You can even use their online PC Builder tool to ensure compatibility and to get your parts in store in just 18 minutes. If you're proud of your build, submit it to their Build Showcase for a chance to receive a coupon for your next in-store purchase. With over 25 stores across the US, Micro Center offers amazing selection and prices on laptops, computer components, monitors, TVs, networking equipment, and more.
I feel like this is like going to a strip club if you're a nerd. You know, like going to Fry's is like... That was basically like the best thing that you could do. I really wish they would make one of these in Austin. I don't know how they don't have one.
And if you need service and repairs, they have a dedicated department to help you with that as well. So why wait? Visit Micro Center today or click the link in the description to see why they're the go-to destination for all your tech needs. If you guys want some more
25
context
total
for this
stores.
big change, I would
Sounds
suggest
like it's
checking
time for
out the I'm
26.
thinking of retiring stream. I still can't watch it. Just to find the timestamps for what I put in the video earlier, I had to just download a transcript. It's just rough, but it might give you guys a better idea of the headspace that ultimately led me to give up the reins so that I can focus just on my love of tech and bringing you guys the best content that I can.
Yeah, I think this is an incredibly good decision for him, and it's probably going to make their company a lot more successful too.
Or the
like just in general, I think this is a very good decision. Because like obviously there's some people that really like doing the business stuff, some people that really like doing the creative stuff, some people that really like doing the production stuff. And like if he feels like he's getting overwhelmed, like for me, like I'll give you an example, right? A lot of people always ask me like, don't you get stressed out having to stream every day? No, I look forward to it because I like it. So you need to find somebody that feels that same way about the thing that you get stressed out about, and then they do that, you do what you do, you put your fucking forces together, and you've got a team. So, you don't stream in your main though? Yeah, well, I mean, it's again, like, I find a way though for it to work for me, right? Even though it's not exactly, you know, the ideal situation. So I think that that's a very good idea. You need to find somebody to do everything that isn't playing games? Yeah, it's just that simple, man. You need to find someone who can draw. Yeah, anything like that. So I think this is a very good decision for Linus to do. It's a great idea. I'm going to link you guys the video. This is, I think that if you're a supporter of Linus Tech Tips and their channel, I think that, you know, this is probably very good news for you, and you'll probably see like better content, more unique content, stuff like that.